Doubt about it. Number 8. Okay, quickly, want to mention, we did a quick preview, and already
that's right, yeah,
everybody's going absolutely gaga over, and for good reason. 2 choices. We have either the rose in the vermeil, which is your silver and the rose gold, no mystery metals, so your rose gold layered over that beautiful precious sterling, or the yellow gold layer over the sterling and the yellow. So we have the yellow with the amethyst and the number 8, which you're gonna learn all about, genuine turquoise, or the rose with the amethyst and the number 8, beautifully finished in the back, sizes 5 through 10. And here's that drum roll moment again, Paul.
Yeah, this is
under $90. Brand new.
For any of you collectors out there, you know what number 8 is. Number 8 is one of the most famous turquoise mines in the history of the United States turquoise mining. It's in the northern part. We just visited up there.
Did you?
The mine's been closed for over 40 years. But we flew into Vegas. We drove to the magnesite mine. We drove to a snowflake obsidian mine. And then we drove another 6 hours north to get to this mine. It's been closed since the 77, I think it was. And here's what happened. Most turquoise mines are not owned by the turquoise miners. They might stake a claim or they might lease it from like a metal ore mining company. Most turquoise mines are where copper is mined. In this case, this was being mined where there was an active gold mine. The owners of the land was the gold company. And what they did in the 1970s is they said, okay, Dow Ward was his name. You have 1 year to blast this mountain and remove as much turquoise as you can get in 1 year. And then we're shutting you down. So that's what happened. So he went in, he just started mining like crazy. He hired all these workers from everywhere. They had to put them in these white bags, and then he stapled them shut and had to write their names on it, so that if he was going through something and things were missing, he knew whose name was on that bag.
Oh, no kidding.
So that material had been sitting dormant for the better part of 40 years.
Wow.
We had one of the only people authorized even to sell the number 8 turquoise rough. And when I tell you we got this so far below market value, I'm gonna show you a piece of rough.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
All right, because when we buy it, we're still buying it in the rough.
And I'm gonna show the backing on here too, because the detail work, I mean, again, that fine jewelry feel and look with the finishing in the back and that unique matrix. So that's originally what you see, right?
Here's what it looks like before you start working with it, okay? See all that brown in there? That's a honey brown colored matrix. Now you might say, well, that looks a little lighter than the ring you have. Well, here's why. This is the piece that we polished. You notice how it does darken it up a little bit. It still has the same characteristics of color. I'm probably the only person on television who consistently talks about a very important part of turquoise, and it's called stabilization. I asked every miner that I've ever worked with, and I said, what percentage of turquoise in the world would you say is stabilized? And they all have the same answer. About 98, 99, 98, 90, yeah. So turquoise is a porous mineral. Yeah. If you do not fill those pores with something, over time it'll absorb the oils and lotions on your skin. And also, your turquoise is naturally a little more brittle if it has pores in it. So what they do, and this is a very expensive procedure, you have to pay to have stabilization done. They take a colorless resin, they infuse it into the stone. It usually takes anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 weeks to do this, and that's all money down the drain. But the result is, it darkens the color a little bit. That's naturally by filling those pores. It also makes it stronger, and it takes a beautiful polish. This is so, for those of you that don't know, I worked with Debbie last night for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely girl.
Wonderful.
And so she asked me in the meeting beforehand, she said, I talked about the rarity of this stone. She said, is it as rare as like Sleeping Beauty? I said, no. It's a lot more rare than Sleeping Beauty. And the Sleeping Beauty mine, just to give you a little comparison, has been closed for 6 years. It was June 30th of 2012 when that mine closed, and they were not finding a lot of material. This mine has been closed since 1977.
And it was right outside of Vegas?
No, it's a long drive from Vegas.
Oh, okay.
It's in the northern, one of the northern counties called Eureka County, and the closest town next to it is called Elko. Okay. When we were trying to visit, this is a funny story, we were trying to visit the mine. And we had to get maps from back in those days from the land use office. Mm-hmm. We had this crazy guy who has his pickup truck. His pickup truck was about 3 weeks old. It had 12,000 miles on it.
Oh my goodness.
He was bent on trying to find this mine because he wanted to see it as much as we did. Right. And we're in four-wheel drive. We're going places we're not supposed to go. Then we finally made a wrong turn. We went here. We spent the whole day looking for this mine, even though we had the map. But fences go up, and there's pitfalls that you're about to go into and die.
Wow!
But we had to find it. So what happened was, we then found another road where another gold mine opened. It's a number 6 mine.
Oh.
And we were driving down the road. We talked to a guy and said, "I wouldn't go any further. We're blasting here." But we said, that's the only way to get to it. Is there any other way? And then we looked at the map. So we spent the next whole day going the whole way around the other side of the mountain to try and get in the back door.
Honest to God.
We finally found it. And if you can imagine where this mine was, it's really picturesque. It's really beautiful. The only thing we shot was all of these boulders. Because what happens when those holes need to be filled, they just take tons and tons of rock. Hundreds, thousands of tons of rock and pour it in there. And the reason they do that, they don't want somebody else coming back and trying to sneak onto the land to mine the turquoise, because people could die under, when the gold mine is going on. This mine will never reopen. It would cost so many millions of dollars.
Is number 6 open now?
For gold.
For gold.
Yeah.
So because copper. Right?
And why do they call it the number? Why did it become famous as a number 8 mine?
That was my next question.
And it's a great question, but it's true. So you stake a claim. This is claim number 1, number 2, number 3, 4. They get to number 8, and then all of a sudden the word gets around. Did you see what they're pulling out of number 8? The biggest nuggets that the world has ever seen in gem quality turquoise, a 50-pound nugget.
With natural matrix that will
honey brown matrix,
take your breath away. So rose gold, yellow.